Hello, everybody, and welcome to this seminar about how to treat oily and acne skin types with the Decaar cosmetics products. I think we're going to have a very interesting seminar today because, in the end, Decaar was designed to treat tough skin problems like acne and other types. But in the start, it was actually acne. And let me start first by saying that if you have any questions or whatever you want to ask me, please contact me. My email address is isabella@decaar.com, and it's Isabella with a Z, so Izabella at decaar.com. Or contact me to the social media. My name is Izabella Hettinga. Or ask your distributor for my phone number if you don't feel confident to type but you want to chat. Please, every comment or every question, you're welcome. So let's start this seminar and let's learn something today. So let's go. First of all, in order to start a skin type, we need to understand how this skin type came to this condition. So let's start. How do we get pimples?
Smart learning for all.
Topic: pimples. Huh? Oh. Why do we get pimples?
Because they don't want me to look handsome.
No. Pimples are caused due to the activity of sebaceous gland present in our skin. This gland produces an oily substance called sebum. Sebum comes up to the skin surface through a pore and moisturizes our hair and skin.
Oh, like a moisturizer?
Absolutely.
Oh.
However, sometimes the pore gets blocked due to dead skin cells. Due to this blockage, the sebum gets accumulated, creating a bump. As sebum is a very good source of nutrients for the bacteria in our skin, they start to grow in that area, leading to an infection. Our immune system responds to this infection by sending blood and immune cells. Blood makes the area red, whereas the immune cells kill the bacteria, resulting in inflammation and formation of a pimple.
For more educational videos, please visit www.
So
Smart
just
learning.
the first part. Let me skip it. So in the end, we're gonna try to help people like this with a condition like this in the best way we possibly can. And we can with Decaar Cosmetics, don't worry. As you can see over here, this is a girl who has a very severe type of acne. It's called an acne conglobata. And this girl was treated six times. So now you're gonna ask naturally, what type of treatment? And of course, it was done with the Decaar treatment. But you need to know, first of all, when your customer, your patient comes into your salon, how do I treat them in the best possible way? You need to understand that 90% satisfaction of your customer, it comes from knowledge. It comes from how you explain to her why this product is the correct way to treat it, but also to understand for her why she got this problem. Because sometimes, for example, I can treat a customer 100 times, but if she keeps using, for example, Nivea or some greasy substance on her skin which is not made for her skin type, it will never get less. Or if she has, for example, an allergy to a certain ingredient and she keeps eating it, it will never get less. So this is why we first start to understand the case. And what I mean with understanding the case is that how long has she been walking around with this problem? So, for example, has she got it from puberty? Or did she got it from another hormonal imbalance? Or did she use a certain type of medication? Or maybe she ate something that caused it? Or maybe, you know what, her boyfriend is being annoying and ever since this she got it. Everything's possible. But please try to find a solution. And after you think you found it, because of course you 99% of the times you maybe know, but 1% you'll never find out. So don't be angry at yourself if you don't find out 100%, because you know what? You're not perfect. Neither am I. Neither is this customer. So please don't worry. In order to find out what is the cause of this problem, we sort of analyze the skin. We can do this with the skin analyzer, but we can also do this with the eyes. The skin analyzer is not per definition better or less, not as good, or but it's like an addition, let's say. So, but first we start with the eyes, and the skin analyzer we can use as an extra, okay? So these machines and everything, it's not like it's not working, but it's an extra. So, for example, when you take this graphic of the face, you will see that, and I'm gonna start with using the most common places where acne finds place. That's, for example, over here. And when your big intestines has a problem with getting rid of toxins, you will see that over here the acne will start. So in this case, I will ask my customer or client or patient, um, okay, so do you have any problem with going, for example, the toilet? It sounds weird, but it's true. Because it could be that she has an infection in her colons. It's a rare situation, but it could. Then, of course, you also should ask, and this is very common, how much water do you drink? Or if you're living, for example, in Asia, do you live in a high polluted area? Because if there's a lot of pollution in the air, you will get extra toxins in the body. And the body has a wonderful way of cleansing itself. So what happens is if you don't cleanse it enough with drinking water and you don't help the lymphatic system to get a natural detox, it will find a different way in which very good so come out of the skin. And acne can be a result of this. So have this conversation with your customer. Second of all, for example, if a customer has it around the mouth area, and a lot of us ladies know about this, when it's our time of the month and we feel already, then most of the times this big pimple appears over here. So what do? In this case, we advise the customer, you know what, I'm not a magician, I'm a beautician. So this means that I can help you, but I cannot prevent a new acne pimple from coming when you have your next period. And why do I think it's so important for you to inform your customers about this? Because I can do, let's say, a dozen of peelings, but if you don't inform them and this one pimple will come, they will blame you. Not me, you. So please inform them and tell them about it. Also tell them that, you know what, I can take the acne scars, for example, I can take 90% of the acne, but it could be that when your hormonal period comes, that you will get one here or there. Could be, could be. By the way, this is a nice little fact. You can also see a lot of pimples appearing in the forehead when people are stressed. Check the kids when they have exams in the exam period, for the high school or the education. Check it. It's very interesting. So let's start, because I'm starting with the treatments and I'm doing this for a reason. Because the treatments, they are the base. But the home care products in the end are the medicine. Okay, so let's say you are going to a doctor and you're having this operation done. In the end, you're having this medicine to make the operation succeed. Okay, I'm not saying we're doing an operation. Don't get me wrong, but it is a fact that, okay, let me give a better example. If you're buying a car, if you're not putting oil or petrol or something in it, it's not gonna run. So we're gonna start with the treatments, but please keep in mind the products are just as important, or maybe even more important. Let me start, because we have a couple of types of peelings on this market. So we have mechanical peelings, we have chemical peelings, and we have biological peelings. So mechanical peelings, for example, they're microdermabrasion, or peelings that we use a rough surface scrub on. What are we doing in this kind, and also with chemical peelings, is we're taking up the top layer. And this top layer is apart from being the pH and the protection of the skin, it's also well, it gives a signal if we remove it to the basal layer, so the lowest part of our upper skin. As we all know, we have three layers of skin. So it's the upper layer, the middle layer, and the under layer, let's say. We're going to take it simple. And in the upper layer, we have the down part, because the upper layer contains 5 sublayers, let's say. And the down part, it makes new cells. And over there, this production, after we take off a top layer, it will think, uh-oh, like the old ICQ, you know, uh-oh, I need to produce new cells because, I'm damaged. I need to, work extra hard. I'm pushed. So what we do in this case, the skin, not we, well actually we do it, but we don't think about it. The skin, it makes new cells. It does this with the mechanical and the chemical. So we take off the upper layer and the skin, it tries to protect and make new cells. But we have something magical. We have the biological peeling. Decaar developed the best biological peeling on the market at this moment. So this biological peeling, what does it do? The biological peeling, it goes straight away to the basal layer. And it goes like, hey, psst, go work. Psst, it's Monday, work. So it gets to work. And it pushes off the old layer. So this means that you'll be generating a new skin without damaging the pH value or making the skin thinner. So for you of us who are living, for example, in a sunny area, who are not, who with the mechanical and the chemical, with Decaar, you can not be able to even be exposed to the sun or not even make it wet. That's a fuss. But with the biological peeling of Decaar, even once a week, you will not turn red. You can just put it on and your skin will do the rest. How amazing is that? So what we're doing with the algae peeling is we cleanse the skin, of course, because we take off all the grease and all the moisture and all the bad things out of the pores. We stimulate the skin renewal because we're pushing off the old. We stimulate the fibroblasts. We all know the fibroblasts. I remember from your education back then. They produce collagen and elastin. And collagen and elastin, they are to make the skin more tight and vibrant, let's say. Also, it reduces sebum, so the greasiness of the skin. We fight the bacteria. We normalize pigmentation spots, which we're going to talk about in another topic later on, which handles not the acne and the problem skin, but the pigmentation problems. We normalize the thickness of the skin because what it does is the DNA of the skin, it has a memory. So this means that if, for example, if you have this naughty brother who keeps pushing you, and after the 10th push, you know the push is gonna come, so you're gonna push back. You're gonna defend. The skin is the same, but it also knows how thick it was supposed to be. So let's say you use too much hormonal creams, or too much chemical peels, or other things that you just, excuse my language, but effed up your skin. This will help your skin to regenerate to the normal level it used to be. How amazing is that? Okay, so apart from that also, and that's the best part actually to my opinion, we stimulate the Langerhans cells. And the Langerhans cells, they are cells that this professor he made. This was his really weird name, Langerhans. He also has this part, that's in your, I think it was the kidneys, but also in the cells. He found out they were there, and actually he found out that they were a part of your immune system. It's a very interesting cell actually to study because the immune system, it evolves after puberty. Oh, by the way, this is why, because these Langerhans cells are only evolved after puberty, that you are only allowed to do the algae peeling regimen on kids or mature adults after puberty. Because after puberty, the Langerhans cells are fully evolved. And you don't want to stress the skin, and especially not with kids, right? So let's not do it. By the way, if you look in the top sentence, you will see to treat problem skin, acne, pigmentation, spot scars, couperose. And actually, there's one not even mentioned there. It's rosacea. And in some books, they call it acne rosacea, but this is a wrong phrase because it has nothing to do with acne, but because it's a different bacteria. But and it's genetical. It's not like a bacteria fact. Sometimes, by the way, acne can be, of course, genetical. But with the peeling, we can very well treat it, and the reason for that is one of them is because we stimulate Langerhans cells. Okay, so you're gonna have so much happy customers with that one. The second treatment we can do, or actually second and third, is the deep phyto peel. And the deep phyto peel is a treatment that you can do apart from the algae peel, or you can combine it. And the combination with the deep phyto peel is going to be for the severe acne, please, for the very severe, so like the acne conglobata types, or the people who have like those really big pigmentation spots, or people with a very thick skin. Them you treat with the combination with the deep phyto peel. So in this case, we're when you put it apart. So when you combine it, let me start with this part. It's going to be a long treatment, like 1.5 hours time in the clinic. When you do it apart, it's about most 1 hour or something like this. It depends how much you chat with your customers, of course. This treatment, the deep phyto, when you do it loose, you can also use it for very deep wrinkles, for the sun damage or smoker skin. They like this white skin that needs a little bit of extra blood flow. With this, you can stop the inflammatory reaction, so the redness. And by the way, with the deep phyto peel, you can also do this because with the deep phyto peel, don't get scared, there's 2% hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, so H2O2, means oxygen. So what happens when you put oxygen on the propionine bacteria acne? It kills it because this acne bacteria does not like oxygen. So this is actually the reason why we put it in there. It is, by the way, not in the deep phyto peel because this is a different type of paste. For the beauticians between you who know it, or the doctors between you know it, it's a very nice peel without being too aggressive. Okay? So this one is more from the upside down. Remember this slide? So this one, it's actually, if you have to divide it, it's not chemical because it's fruit acid, but it would fit under the chemical peels, okay? Okay, so this one, it exfoliates more. If you put it in combination with the deep phyto peel, please keep in mind that it's gonna flake. After 3-4 days, you're gonna have a huge peeling effect. This means that all the old skin layers are gonna come off, and this means that they're gonna flake a lot. So warn your customer for this, because if she's not warned, she will not like. Okay? So inform your customer, client, or patient that they have 70% more visible results when they use the Decaar home care products, especially in case of the oxygen gel. And the reason for this is because the oxygen gel, it contains perfluorocarbon, and perfluorocarbon is an ingredient that attracts oxygen into the skin, so the O2 molecules. So what happens, keep in mind, for example, when you have a person with severe eczema, they put sometimes this patient in the oxygen tanks, and this is because the pure oxygen has a very healing effect on the skin, also on the lungs, for example. So this is why we choose to use the perfluorodecaline in these products to actually progress the results of the peeling. Okay, so actually in the end, when you rub the peeling and you make it a bit more mechanical, because the algae peeling, you can make it a mechanical peel. If you do it more mechanical, um, anatomically seeing, it is actually comparable to a burn wound. And oxygen, especially with a burn wound, is a very positive result. So please inform your customers about this. Okay? Actually, I even inform my customers that if they don't use the products there, they throw away 70% of their treatment. You want that? Don't throw away 70% of your result. I know. So we have actually 5 product lines now. There it is. We have the oxygen, O2, OC, oily combination, which we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna have the white WS, sorry, so white skin, and ERH reverse, and then we have the new one, delicate skin DS. I just love this picture of the model. I love her so much. So there we go. So here we go, because I had to take a little pee break. Sorry for not telling you about it. We're starting now with the first product of the anti-acne or oily skin product line. And in this case, we're talking about the purifying cleansing gel, because when we start treating the oily skin, it's very important to start with cleansing the skin. And why is cleansing the skin so important? Because in the end, let's say, for example, you are painting a door, let's say. You first need to remove the old paint, and you need to treat the door before you apply the next layer of paint. So in this case, of course, we're not talking paint. We're talking about, you know, the products to give the wood new life, let's say. So in this case, we're talking about purifying cleansing gel. So why is cleansing so important for the skin? The next ingredient will never penetrate the skin, correct? If we do not cleanse it first very thoroughly. So the purifying cleansing gel. Purifying cleansing gel is a product that is made in a very light, kind way, but to cleanse the skin thoroughly. And what is the key selling point about this product is it has symbiotics. And symbiotics, actually what it is, it's a synergy between probiotics and prebiotics. Let me get into this next slide. And afterwards, I'll go back to the other ingredients. The probiotics, or the symbiotics to be thorough, is the probiotics are, do you remember the lactacid or the drinks that we take for the colons to have a good bacteria flora? And this actually makes sure that, again, the pH value. So let me get into the pH value. The pH value is the acid value. So for example, water has a pH of 7, and the skin is between 5.5, 5.6, somewhere between there. And this is the value that is most healthy for our skin, so that bacteria cannot overflow the skin. So it's our defense mechanism. For example, fungus or other type or bacteria, for example. So what does the symbiotics do, or better to say the probiotics? They are actually living good bacteria, let's say, and they maintain the pH value of the skin. And also they keep in tone the redness or irritation. Let's say, for example, okay, let's go very, very simple. If you get an acid on the skin, it gets an irritation, right? And this irritation, what happens? The skin turns red. So what does this symbiotics do, or this probiotics in this case? It prevents the skin from getting red from irritation. So normally when we have a product, especially our R&D team will be very happy I tell you this, is actually their entire life or job life is involved in how to get this bacteria out of the cream. And now this stupid blonde lady is putting it into the cream. Why? So what they had to do is, because this probiotics, so this bacteria, should not infect the cream, they had to put, let's say, an antidote, something against it, to make sure it doesn't infect the cream. And that's the prebiotic. So we have the probiotic and the prebiotic. And the probiotic and the prebiotic, they work as a synergy, and those together is called a symbiotic. This is actually one of the newest novelties in the cosmetics industry at this moment, because actually it's new because we were always constantly busy about how to get bacteria out of creams. And now all of a sudden we want to have it in a cream. But so we found a way, and it's called symbiotic. So this prebiotic, it's like a diet fiber for the probiotic. It's the food, you know, and it makes sure that it eats the food and it doesn't eat the cream, so the cream doesn't get poisoned. Let's say, okay. So apart from this, we have the oligosaccharide. I'm telling it to you in a sort of Dutch way because I'm sorry, I am Dutch. And they are carbohydrates. They are very complex and they prevent against hyperkeratinization. And what they also prevent is the damaging of the skin against aging if that is caused by the sun. And they're a very good alternative, or actually they're seen as a very good alternative for example, retinol. Um, Apart from this, we also have yacon. And yacon is a cabbage. They find it in Peru, very nice country by the way. I love South America. And what it does, it is balancing again the microflora. So again, the bacteria flow in the skin. As we all know, by the way, we have a lot of bacteria in the skin, so please be glad with your bacteria in this case. Okay, so in this case, we go further. And then let me start from the start. That's a good idea, right? So we have to cleanse in Decaar in general, because some of you know Decaar for a very long time, or you've studied it very good. Keep studying, by the way. We have three types of base cleansings. So we have the cleansing milk, we have the delicate cleansing foam, and we have the purifying cleansing gel. Because in this webinar we are discussing the oily skin, we are only mentioning the products that are based especially for the oily skin, or which have to be combined with oily skin, okay? So we were just talking about purifying cleansing gel, which is in case of an oily or acne skin, or a normal combination skin, so skin type that's mainly oily, but also a little bit normal, or a little bit maybe some dry spots, but the oily part is the one that we want to treat, okay? After using the purifying cleansing gel, we need a lotion. There are two types of lotions that we can use at this current moment. The Phyto lotion is one of them. So the Phyto lotion is very intense, I must say. So this one is really for the acne, the combination skin that it's irritated, let's say, okay? So it's not like a skin that has some greasy spots. If you smell it, you can smell it's a little bit, well, it's active. It's active. You can smell the menthol, you can smell the eucalyptus, you can really smell that. So, in case of a really greasy acne skin, so I'm talking like really greasy or acne skin, you use the Phyto lotion. Otherwise, we go to the pH balancing lotion, which you can also combine with the purifying cleansing gel, okay? So, but this one we will discuss later. So, the Phyto lotion. The Phyto lotion, for once, it has the eucalyptus. So that's the if you ever went to a spa, you know this scent, right? The menthol. Menthol has also calming, soothing properties. And then we go to the salicylic acid. And salicylic acid, it can dissolve the glue that is between the skin cells. So it works keratolytic, and it stimulates the cell to make new cells. So actually, what it does, it will prevent cells to glog. You know the pores. So this will not glog again because it takes away the overproduction of keratinocytes. Okay, so this will make the skin more soft and more even toned. It will get fresher, and also it's for example, by the way, salicylic acid is also used in aspirin because of the anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, so the Vital lotion is the lotion that you use with a really greasy skin. If you do not have a greasy skin, but you have more of let's say combination skin, then use the pH balancing. So to give you a better view in the salicylic acid, this actually is an ingredient. It's taken from the root of the willow, so that's a tree, right? It works keratolytic. It dissolves the sebum, so it makes the sebum into little small particles, which can make it go away. It's antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. So with inflammatory, I mean that the infections, right? So, like I told you before, if you don't have like this really oily or acne skin, then you use the pH balancing lotion. And the pH balancing lotion has a very good key ingredient, which is called the pentanol. Let's first again go to the other slide, because D-pentanol it's a alcohol form, and don't mean the alcohol that you drink. I mean the other alcohol of vitamin B5. So it makes the skin more smooth and elastic. And on the skin, it makes the skin more supple, more elastic, and it will prevent skin from the visible signs of aging. And it also prevents irritation like itching, and it also will help the skin heal with sunlight or burn wounds, you know. Also, it will, when you have deep pentanol, it will penetrate skin and it will be transformed into pantolinic acid. So this vitamin B5 is part of a coenzyme A, and this will progress the energy flow to the cells, and it will progress the cells to produce new. And then, of course, we have choline, which is a mineral which is composed of the hydrated aluminum silicate. This all together, it will make this lotion a very, let's say, more soothing alternative. So let's go to the base. So you have acne skin, and this acne skin, it needs to be cleansed because cleansing is the base. First of all, you use the purifying cleansing gel. After this, you use the Vital lotion, and in case of an acne skin, and otherwise you use the pH balancing lotion. Okay, guys, we're on a level, right? So then, of course, we have the natural exfoliating scrub, and a natural exfoliating scrub is one of the scrub kinds that you can use. As you know, in Decaar, we have two scrub kinds. We have the oxygen scrub and the natural exfoliating scrub. And why am I highlighting this one with acne or oily skin types? Is because this one is the most suitable for that. Why? The reason is because this one has a more tough grind, let's say, and also due to the ingredients which we are of course going over. The other one is more when you have a person which is very sensitive, for example, then maybe it is better to choose the oxygen scrub. But I'm now talking for a general acne type, okay? So with a general acne type, please use the natural exfoliating scrub. So kaolin is it's a mineral which is from the hydrogenated aluminum silicate. And actually, what it does is it works abrasive, and it absorbs overproduced sebum in the skin. Then we have the Monterey and the Elite, which is very interesting. Let me get into this slide. And the Monterey and the Elite, they are two types of powders. And the Monterey, it's actually derives from the Monterey Mountains in France. It's a very interesting mountain clay sort, let's say. It's volcanic, and it's also known as bentonite. And bentonite is actually very popular because of the high dosage of minerals in there. So it has very healing properties. It's very positive for oily skin and stimulates a new cell production. Some people that are really sensitive, I need to say you're really sensitive if you feel it, but you can feel like tingling in the skin. Then the other one is the Elite, and what's very nice to see in the slide is its reddish texture now, and it absorbs impurities. It is not as absorbing as the Monterium, but it improves the blood flow very much. So the synergy of the two is very positive. Okay, this product, I must say, if you use it, afterwards you can feel like a film on the skin, because especially due to the kaolin and also the aloe vera, you can feel its very strong hydrating properties. So please guys, just try it. You will love it, I'm sure. So here we go. So guys, we're gonna move on because I had a little problem with my webcam. You're gonna have to finish the rest of the presentation without my silly face in your right corner at the moment. So don't worry, I think that we will manage just fine. So where were we? The rest of the oily combination skin products. So let us start with the anti-acne antiseptic mask. As you can see, this is a product that is only for the professional use, so cabin size, 150 ml. And the reason for that is because it's a very strong mask. And especially with the acne kids, there is a risk if we put it in retail that they're going to use it every day. And in this case, it might be too aggressive. So we have a fantastic alternative for this, which is the calming mask, which is suitable to use, for example, every day or any other day. But this one, because it's just too strong, we do not recommend that. And your customer will not be visiting you every day in your clinic. So as you can see, the two main ingredients are sulfur and salicylic acid. And let's talk to you a little bit again about the sulfur. And the sulfur is an ingredient which is actually well known to be used in the Roman baths. So do you notice when you go to the spa that you have this smell of, well, to be fair, actually a lot of farts. And the reason for this is the sulfur, which is in the baths. And the sulfur has a very strong healing property. So this means that it helps the skin regenerate, it helps the skin heal, and you will feel the skin getting more soft again. The salicylic acid, of course, we talked about it before, remember? So over here, so again from the root of the willow. And so what we actually do is we dissolve the sebum, and this is why it's very important for the oily and acne skin, and also against the inflammatories. So actually this was a little bit of a repeatment from the last slides. So then we go to the rebalancing cream 24 hours. So when it is a 24 hours on the cream, it actually means that it is suitable for as well morning as the evening. So you don't need a separate morning cream and evening cream, or day and night cream, let's say. But also it has a 24-hour release control system. This means that in ancient times, we used to apply a cream, and then at the moment when we gave the cream, the skin would be, let's say, hydrated, for example, or fat the positive ingredients that are in the cream. And now, because of the 24 control release system, what it does is every time when the skin needs a little bit of the ingredient, it will give a signal to the cream, and the cream will give it as a control release. It's a system that they use in medicines a lot. So the PMF protective moisturizing factor. Well, actually, it stands for itself. Then we have the Angelica aregus root extract ferment. Let's get to that one. So as you can see, it's a green plant. It works antibacterial. It's used a lot to treat psoriasis. And well, why I put it there that you need 300 kilos of root for 1 kilo of oil is because actually the extraction process of this ingredient is very intensive. It is used a lot as an alternative medicine, actually. And well, I must say, you can see the skin will respond very good to this cream. By the way, we have a new product also, which we'll be treating later, which is the anti-acne cream. So the rebalancing cream, when we use this one, is more for the oily skin types, the combination skin types. They have a pimple here and there, but not a severe acne. Because when they have severe acne, we will use the anti-acne cream. Okay. So and then of course again we have the lactobacillus ferment. So we remember this one from the purifying cleansing gel, and actually this ingredient, it's again the good bacteria, so it helps the pH value of the skin get intact, because normally an acne or oily skin, it has more bacteria kinds on the surface, because and this makes altogether the natural defense mechanism of the skin. But in case of a skin that has a higher chance of inflammation, like the greasy skin types, you can see that the pH value in a lot of cases is not in the correct, is disturbed, let's say. So this is why we put the let's say the good bacteria there. And then we actually move on to the newest baby in the Decaar family, let's say. So the anti-acne cream, as I mentioned before, you use it for the severe acne. So more when you need really there's an inflammatories, there's the real pimples, the pustules, all these things. As you can see, it has the colloidal sulfur, and sulfur is actually a chemical element which is present in every living tissue. So after calcium and phosphorus is the third most abundant mineral in the human body. So you can find sulfur actually in a lot of different products like garlic, onions, broccoli. Let's see. Well, by the way, also the sulfur we talked about a little bit before. It's what they put in the veins, huh? So in the baths for the ancient Romans and the Egyptian people. Then of course we have the niacinamide, which is vitamin B3. It's also anti-inflammatory. It reduces acne. It helps prevent rosacea lesions. It may reduce also the sebum production. Also, this vitamin B3, it stimulates the production of ceramides and fatty acids and protects the outside layer of the skin, so it protects against the moisture loss. It's also a mild exfoliator, by the way, and this is why it works against the flaking of the skin. It makes the skin more smooth, more radiant. You can see a very fast result after using this product. Then we go to the third one, the potassium azelloyl diglycinate. And as you can hear, I am not a chemist. I study the ingredients, but I do not invent the names. Actually, it's the extract from the azelaic acid. It's extracted from a wheat oil, and it makes the skin more bright, because a lot of time with the acne you can see acne scarring, you can see the dark spots from where the acne has been, so it helps against this. What's also a very known ingredient is the tea tree oil, of course, so the anti-inflammatory, the allantoin, it's to calm the skin. So as you can see, all the ingredients there to make the skin more radiant and work against the inflammatory nature. But you know what? When you have the product, would you please give it a smell? You can smell the tea tree, for example, which in there, and you can see the results that will appear very fast with the acne skin types. Then we're going to the next product, the calming mask. I love this one. This one, as you can see, it's also for retail, so it's for cabin and for retail. The cabin, you know it probably because you use it as the final stop after the algae peeling, not the deep phyto, the algae peeling. And you can see due to the high dosage of zinc oxide, it has very healing properties. You can see the sea march starch. We take it from the corn, you know, the popcorn, let's say, and it absorbs excessive sebum. Then we go to the kaolin. So we've discussed this one before. As you can see, all the ingredients for the greasy skin, they come back. So if you learn, for example, these five, and there are a few others like the salicylic acid, there are a couple of others, you will see that there are not a lot of ingredients that you need to learn in order to master all the oily and combination skin products. So against menthol, we also talked about this one before. The kaolin, by the way, it also works abrasive and absorbs the excess of sebum. And the avocado oil, like we also discussed before, makes the skin more smooth and soft. Here's a little bit about the zinc oxide. Actually, because they extract the zinc oxide from burnt zinc, and because then you get the most intense ingredients out of it. You extract it, so it absorbs the same. Like we talked before, it's also soothing, and it's also a little bit of anti-aging because it will stick. It has let's say shiny component which will go into the line. It's a little bit of a long story. Let's not get into it too much. Avocado oil. So this one is rich of vitamin A, C, D, and E. Penetrates easy. It's also again a transport system, you know, and it needs to. So the product needs to have a creamy texture in the start, of course. And it. Oh, I see. I put a little bit of Dutch in there. Verhoogt that means it increases the collagen production. So thank you for your attention, everybody. I hope to see you soon again. The next webinar is probably going to be about the delicate skin products. And so this way, every time we're going to treat one subject and how to treat this with the Decaar products. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Izabella@decaar.com. So Isabella's with a Z, Ezabella. And I'm happy to answer every question you have. Thank you.